gentlemen, it's about to go down.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your hosts, RGX, RateWrestle, and Frozzy, representing Honor Club, and you're listening to the HCW Podcast.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the HCW Podcast. My name is RGX, flanked by a returning Frozzy, RateWrestle as always, and special guest DP. How are you guys?
I am living the dream. I'm going to reply first, because that's what I do now. But no, yeah, this week's been terrible wrestling-wise. I'm glad we get to relive it right now.
You'll soon see it's not been great. But how are you, Frozzy? Back off assignment?
Yeah.
Good to have you back.
All good, mate. All good. Just looking forward to reviewing this absolute drab week. Can't wait.
And of course, welcome back to our guest host DP, who at this point we might as well drop the guest part of it. You're becoming a semi-regular as of late. How are you, mate?
Hello. Yeah, I'm not too bad. Had a horrible week as usual with the working and mixing with the watching the wrestling, but it was fine. You know, we had some very good things on SmackDown that you guys will not agree with whatsoever. But
I will.
Yeah, other than that, yeah, it's like Rate said, it's been a pretty
I might leave the podcast.
pretty drab week.
Well, let's kick off with SmackDown so we can talk about DP's favourite thing of the week anyway. So, Rate, take it away.
Good grief. So yeah, SmackDown July 1st. The first note of it here is stupid standing ladder segment, so that probably sums up how we're going to start from here. They're all going to win. Sheamus is going to beat Roman first. All of the people. Pierce Battle Royale. That's my notes for that part. So yeah, Miz started coming down, and Corbin was down, and Ezekiel was down, then Madcap Moss came down. So, you know, this led to a good old-fashioned Battle Royale, which made no sense to me. Because it was the people in the Money in the Bank, and then also the 4 random people.
Was it not supposed to be like a last chance thing if any of the ones who weren't in it?
No, because, spoiler, Corbin won it, didn't he, the Battle Royale, and then they had to have that Money in the Bank qualifier later on. Yeah, so this match was perfectly not needed. But yeah, my description of this match, Battle Royale, Omos smash, Seth eliminates himself, long and pointless, and then Corbin won.
Other than that, it was called
Yeah. And that was 2.25 stars right with that. Like, so it was a below average for a Battle Royale as well. That's how bad.
You usually like overinflate Battle Royales.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
But yeah, so we got any more opinions on that?
Down here, still only the second best Battle Royale of the week.
So many Battle Royales.
Yeah, it was kind of just average, really. I mean, I like Battle Royals personally, but this was kind of just drab and it had no real meaning. To the point where in the corner of the, you know, the little graphics that appear, it said "Good old fashioned Battle Royal." That was the literal wording from WWE.
Yeah, it's because Pierce put it then when he said it as well. It was oh god. I'm just going to continue because I'm just going to get stuck in a Battle Royale and we're never going to finish this. So yeah, this was followed by a Baron Corbin segment. He's called Happy Corbin, but we call him Baron right now. Corbin's farting rainbows. And then, yeah, not happy. That was that segment. There's so many segments in the whole of this week as well, by the way. Everyone has shoved many people in.
Yeah, go home weeks and like the first row after will be shoehorn in as many vignettes as possible.
Yeah, like followed up from this and Natalia's segment. Like literally, you can take most of these segments and write 2 words to sum up the segment. She's going to make Rousey tap out.
I didn't mind the Rousey segment.
Oh no, this was Natalia's segment when she was out back. Yeah, just saying she's going to make Rousey tap out.
I didn't.
Then New Day had a segment in the middle of the ring, which was supposed to lead to a match with the Viking Viking Raiders. They're Viking Raiders, aren't they? They've changed their name like 12
Viking
times.
Raiders.
Viking Raiders, yeah. They was joking that now they're the serious Raiders. So the Vikings came down, the Vikings smashed, and that was that. I'm trying to put a positive I can't find anything positive. Pierce had a segment out back which he announced that there's going to be a four-way for the Money in the Bank, which added to the pointlessness of last chance for the Money in the Bank, which added to the pointlessness of the Battle Royale. I might have been down on this because I watched this after Money in the Bank, so it was even more pointless in my mind, maybe. But yeah, you had the 6-woman tag match, which Bliss, Liv, and Oscar versus Shotzi, Evans, and Raquel. You had a few dive spots in that. Everyone had their moves, so everyone got to jump in to do their moves at this point. And then it ended with Liv hitting an Oblivion. We're at 2.5. It was an average. It was decent. Average matchup.
It's the first time I can remember that the eventual winner won the go-home match on SmackDown or Raw.
Yeah, that's the thing I know.
That's what made me change my mind on Liv and go Becky. Because they're giving her the win here. We won't give her the win in the match.
Yeah. But that was not the case, clearly. And there was one man that knew this, and he did well to pick her as a top lock. And then I followed this up by Becky Lynch hitting a manhandle slam, I think, on Oscar, was it? I just wrote manhandle slam banter as Becky just ran off. That was the whole... Becky, even if she does one move, it's the best part of a show at the moment.
Yeah.
So we had a Pierce and Deville segment out back. Deville was basically turning the tables on Pierce with the whole... Deville had the whole thing where she was abusing her power, but last week Pierce did the handicap match. So Deville's made a formal complaint, and then she bitch slapped him. So we'll see where that leads.
How does one bitch slap someone as opposed to a normal slap?
So a bitch slap is where you do.
While you do it.
Yeah, you don't have a proper follow through. It's more of a flick of the wrist. Like a cat, like a thingy Slater out of EastEnders. What's her name? Cat Slater. That kind of slap. Oh, you slack! And then anyway,
a Cat Slater slap. She swings like she brings it right away back and falls.
Yeah,
through.
maybe a Peggy Mitchell then.
Think of it more like the Queen's Wave.
Straight up someone's face.
Yeah.
So yeah, this was followed by the Usos and the Profits having like a weird pressy conference, but it's probably the mediating kind of thing. Profits made a joke that the Usos are the Romans' grocery boy. I wrote after this segment is ass. That was my whole description of that segment. I don't know if anyone has anything to follow up on that.
Yeah, I was thoroughly unimpressed with pretty much this whole SmackDown to this point.
And what's worse, this is the best. That match was the best match in the Money in the Bank, and that was the preview to the match.
Yeah.
Coming to the best part of SmackDown.
Yep. So I'm going to let someone discuss this because my notes. I'm just not going to even give my notes, judging by the DP wants to crown this absolute crap into glory right now. So take it away, DP.
Sorry, before you do, let me just remind you all that I told you who it was weeks ago, and you told me that's not true. That's not who it's going to be, and it was. Proceed.
So, picture the room or the arena, shrouded in darkness. Small spotlight appears in the ring. You got not Eli Drake, not LA Knight. It's Max Dupree by himself, and he talks for a little bit. I can't remember the exact wording, but I've watched it a few times. And
Must have been that good, yeah.
He basically introduces that he is finally ready to unveil his, for lack of a better term, clients. And he introduces one as a former competitor. He introduces one as someone who has previously appeared on TV, as you would expect from the wrestling company wrestlers. And he says, you knew him as a Mace, but now I present to you Marseille. Like Marseille, like the football team, or the city. And what proceeds is perhaps the best. For just a disclaimer, I love the crazy, just makes no sense sort of stuff. It fits so well for a show like this. And out comes Mace or Marseille in what looks like your typical River Island advert.
Are we going as highbrows River Island and not like Boohoo Men or something?
It's something like that, exactly.
I've never seen a face not, like, with sunglasses on, I've never seen a face not suit sunglasses more, by the way, or shades. Or you just look like... Continue.
Then, sorry, yes. So, he poses for a little bit at the top of the stage, looking as mighty fine as he does. And he walks slowly down to maybe about like the half point of the ramp. And a sort of, what's the word in fashion? A catwalk. Yeah. And he poses a little bit, like there's cameras and everything. And he poses more and then walks away. And heads backstage. And then
but there's more.
I was getting there. Give me some time.
This is longer than the segment. Come on.
Behave yourself, Ray. Continue, DP.
That got me. So was that? Yes. So the lights go out again. Back to Max Dupree in the ring, and he introduces another. Would you have guessed it? Another wrestler, and he brings out not Mansoor. He brings out, and this is my favorite one so far, Mansoor.
Before we proceed further, DP, apologies for the interruption. If you look at Mansoor's Twitter handle, it is actually pronounced Mine So R.
My sore arse.
Because he's got umlauts and accents in the little triangle hat bit as well, which completely changes the pronunciation.
Well, they've got to Americanize it,
I know, it's just, I find it hilarious with his Twitter handle. They could have at least put in accents that match the pronunciation they're trying to do in TV. Right.
Did you know that DP's joining these and he's going to be called Depois from now on?
What?
Sounds like something from tennis. Not what?
Depois.
10 points. Equa.
Changing my Twitter handle to that now. I'm going to use like little like triangle and just like Arabic signs and whatnot. So yeah, he does the same thing as Marseille, where he comes out, poses, look another advert for Boohoo Man, and poses more. This is all this is. It's just posing, and again stops at the halfway point of the ramp, backstage, and then unannounced, they both come out together. So we're getting double the fashion, double the excitement. You guys, your science is deafening. It's ridiculous.
It's absolutely class, mate. I've got no words for how good this was.
London Fashion Week, eat your heart out.
Good grief.
No one's thrown up, so.
Good start. But yeah, and we just end it off with Max Dupree speaking a bit more. And that is all we got to see of the Maximum Male models.
But it's going to be a favourite going forward.
For the 4 weeks it's around.
For me, it will be, yeah.
We've got to love the Triple M. Big fans of the Triple M here.
Oh no, it's Johnny Knoxville and Sami Zayn all over again. I'm never going to live this down. Do you want to hear my notes on it now?
Let's go.
What the deuce? That was my notes. I feel like you did well there, DP.
Yeah, you did.
It's Depois, actually.
Oh God! Oh. This has ruined my week more. So yeah, this was followed by a Rousey segment. My exact words: "I like this. This is probably the best Rousey segment that's happened because she was just abrupt. Because she actually spoke and she was abrupt and she was just like her USC self. I'm just going to kick your face in. Basically, that was like what she needs to be. Not making funny quips. Just, I'm going to beat you. And what saddens me before this is basically what I do is when I watch these beforehand, I copy and paste the card to my page and then like edit it all so I can have it on the page so I can put the ratings next to each thing. Mm-hmm. I thought the main event of this was Seth Rollins versus Riddle. Little did I know, halfway through the main event, I realised that was a dark match, and it made me sad. I'm not going to see that match because I saw there was like 6 minutes left, and I was like, "Hold on, how are they getting this dark? How are they getting this Riddle versus Rollins match in?" And I realised, oh no, it's a dark match, and now I'm even more disappointed in this main event. But yeah, so it was Miz versus Happy versus Mad versus Zeke. So it was it sounded like a Snow White flipping film right there. It was a typical 4-way match. You had like a Tower of Doom thrown in there. Everyone was battering each other. Madcap got in for the punchline for a near fall. Everyone looked pretty decent in this match as well. Well, they actually got everyone to look not like everyone was getting battered. Everyone got the crap over. Miz looked good. He hit a Psycho knee, which I don't know if that was what you mentioned this week or it was the week prior. But he's hit it again this week. Yeah.
When we did Raw last week, I mentioned it. It's a good looking bicep.
Yeah.
I'm not taking anything away from him on that.
Yeah.
Really crisp looking.
The only thing that let this match down, like, we rated it 3 stars, but the only thing that let it down for me is the overused finish they've been doing in Raw, WWE and Smackdown recently, whereas the guy hits a finisher. I think it was Corbin hit a finisher on Ezekiel and then he stole the pin. It's been happening so much recently. Yeah. But it was a fine ending to SmackDown, but I think because the rest of it was absolute dross, that you just... Yeah. But yeah, Battle 4 was pretty decent, 3 stars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of things.
Wild that there was only 3 matches.
Yeah, and the worst thing is I thought there was 4, but one of them is a dark match.
Well, 2 of them had the same people in. Well, 4 of them, which is wild. What are they doing with the rest of the talent that can't get on the show?
Because it's a go-o show. You got to book it real strong, and they did.
They booked it.
It was booked. But anyway,
so all I say is, where was Shanky?
In the bin.
Yeah, Shanky dancing.
Yeah, where was that?
Getting his shank on.
He was too busy getting mauled by the Viking Raiders from the week before.
In the UK, that means something different.
I was going to say, promise.
And it's probably more exciting than what's happened on SmackDown as well. There you go. Let's bring this to a dark place. So yeah, let's start the new segment of every week. Let's bring on the Rampage boy.
Bring him in.
You're
You're not getting your own music.
I'm sure that was copyright of Countdown, by the way. So I think we're
RJX, I'm not sure. Did you take notes as well on?
No, because you're quite proud of the fact you wrote like four pages for it, so I decided to let you take the hit on it.
Fair enough.
He's a smart man.
So here we go. So we have AEW Rampage for July 1st with me, Deepois. I'm gonna keep it going.
Absolutely.
So, this is subtitled Royal Rampage because there's a timed Battle Royal, which is totally nothing like the Royal Rumble. So we start off with the Royal Rampage itself. So, another show kicked off with Battle Royal. We had 20 men in 2 rings labelled as Red Ring and Blue Ring. And there was supposed to be a minute in between each entrant. Most of the time it was like 20 and 30 seconds.
Oh yeah, I'm glad they stole that bit from WWE as well. That whatever time they say in a Battle Royal is never the amount of time. They did the same during Blood and Guts. They didn't stick to the 4-minute timing for that either.
But yeah, these notes are just generally not much of interest. It's just like who entered at what point. So I'm just gonna try and run through these and then little bits in between. So we started off with what did I read? Okay. So we had Will Hobbs and Tony Nese in red and blue respectively already with no entrances. The first entrance that we did see was Hangman Page, who was assigned to Red Ring with Will Hobbs, and Darby Allin with Sting in the second ring. I got no notes really, other than just entrances. So the third person to come out in the Red Ring was Ricky Starks. So who would guess that with Will Hobbs? I did mention that there's a constant use of a split screen effect, which is pretty cool. They used that from the War Game, from Blood and Guts show, which is pretty cool. Showing both things happening at the same time. I was a fan of it.
It's an old WCW trick.
Mhm.
World War, that was it, wasn't it? I used to do that World War, WCW World War. I can't remember. World War Three.
Yeah. So first elimination we had was Tony Nese by Darby Allin, who reversed the clothesline. Not special, really. It was just that over the under the head over the top rope thing. Pardon me. Up next we had the blue ring. We had the Butcher, who attacked Darby on the outside of the ring. After that we had red entrant number 4, which is John Silver, who got a very good crowd reaction, better than Hangman Page. We had the first of a few comments that I've noted from JR. Johnny Hungy, the little boss is hungry.
What?
Thanks. Yeah.
He's the meat man.
Yeah. Boy. And then we had probably the only something worth recalling in the entire match, where we have Silver and Hangman in the same ring. They hug, and then Hangman goes to eliminate Silver, which is like, oh, and then doesn't do it. And it's like, haha, see, I got you. And then John's like, yeah, you got me.
I'm sure that won't bite him in the ass.
No, of course not. And then no more than 5 seconds later, John grabs Hangman and does the exact same thing. He's like, I'm going to throw you out. And he's like, oh, no, I didn't do it. I'm joking. And they're like, yeah, hey, you got me. You got your back, yeah. Yeah, great, you, yeah. After that, we had number 4 in the blue ring, which was Max Caster. I wrote down the entire rap. I don't know why I did. I just did.
You know, if you've got the whole thing written down, you have to deliver it like him now, don't you?
I can't read my handwriting, so
Yeah.
Sure.
Listen.
Let's say you've got the whole thing written if you don't intend to deliver it.
Yeah. Rookie mistake.
I'm gonna regret this, aren't I?
Yeah.
Yo, listen.
Platinum on the mic with the legendary status. I'm about to do the new Malice in the Palace. Now tell me who can stop me. I'm gonna beat your bitches down like you're Rudy Giuliani. And none of y'all are above me. I'm gonna win a title, then Tony Khan will hug me. Remember the name. In Detroit, everybody loves the Acclaimed. And that was the rap.
Nice.
Not one of these better ones.
Can't wait to hear your mixtape.
Oh, don't just give him ideas. Carry on.
that was a thing. That was a thing like several years
Yeah,
ago.
no, it was a thing. I wasn't like joking.
Up next we had, I want to say official debut, because I think it might be. In the red ring, number 5, we had Roosh. Whereas last week on Rampage, he made his appearance by just appearing in a match. Whereas this time, he actually is in a match. Surprising to me, because I'm a Roosh guy. Like, he didn't get much reaction from the crowd. Like, it's like no one knew who he was.
Yeah.
Detroit, possibly, was exactly an ROH hotbed. It's not like the New York area. So,
yeah,
could be the case.
Possibly. But following from that, I've got no notes on him. So following from that, we had 5 blue, which was the Blade. So at this point, the Butcher's still in the blue ring. So another tag team to add to the ranks there. After that, we had 6 Red, which is Penta Obscuro. Before he can even do his entrance properly, Roosh exits the ring through the middle rope, so not to eliminate himself, and just rushes him completely. And Penta gets the upper hand on that exchange, and they both go back into the ring. Then came a bit that surprised me a little bit because I thought he was more over with the fans than most of them. But John Silver was eliminated by Ricky Starks, while Silver was trying to eliminate Hobbs. So quite interesting. After that, we had the 6th person in the blue ring, which was Swerve Strickland. He comes in more or less straight away, eliminates Max Caster. Got massive boost from me. And then who would have guessed the next person to come out was none other than Swerve's partner, Keith Lee, who's going to be in the other ring this time round. They do a little segment where Swerve's like, "Hey, yeah, you're in that ring. I'm in this ring." Fist bump, like over the ropes in between both rings. And then Keith goes to do it, and then they get attacked by Hobbs and Starks, respectively. Well, not respectively. But Lee gets attacked by both of them, and Swerve's like, "Oh no, I can't do anything." Up next, we have the 7th entrant in the blue ring, which is Matt Hardy. Am I bad for thinking that was Jeff Hardy initially?
Because he switched to using the tag team music instead
Yeah.
of his sort of broken theme that it was before.
Yeah, I instantly heard it. I was like, "Oh, he's back already?" And then it's on Matt. I was like, "Oh, fair enough." Up next we have the 8th entrant of the red ring, which is Dustin Rhodes. All I've written here is he's dressed in blue. Why is he in the red ring?
Yeah.
He wanted to be on SmackDown.
What, as a male model?
Yes.
This
Yeah.
can't be a thing. This can't be dragged back to every segment.
So we got a little exchange between Rouge and Penta, which I was a fan of because I just thought these two could have a great match, and hopefully they will have one eventually, and not anytime soon.
Yeah, I'm sure they won't hotshot that immediately.
What do you mean? So both of them go over the top rope, just through like the suplex sort of stuff, where they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna eliminate you," then no, I land on the apron. We got Penta attempting a German suplex. Roosh does the kick behind him, low blows Penta, and then Penta falls, but also pulls Rouge's hair, so he pulls him with him. So they both got eliminated at the same time, which was pretty unique in a sense. Then we have the most underwhelming entrant, which is a shame because he's not a bad guy whatsoever. The 8th entrant of Blue Ring, Frankie Kazarian, who comes out and he just comes out and he's like, "Yeah, I'm Kazarian. I'm going to walk to the ring and I'm going to do nothing because that's all I do."
You know,
I hope he actually said that.
I do nothing.
Yeah.
So we've got another comment from JR, where he says, "Frankie's the kind of guy that can win a match like this. Everyone knows that."
Famous for all those Rumble and or Battle Royale wins throughout his career.
Did he even win a reverse battle royal?
No, he never even won an Ultimate X.
Did he even win a match at this point? Is he just like one of life's losers?
On his own, I don't.
I mean, when they were SCU, he was somewhat important, but
Yeah.
but yeah. Move on. We've got a bit of tag team elimination here, where Matt Hardy's eliminated by Butcher and Blade. Then we have the 9th entrant in the red ring, which was Dante Martin. All I've written here is time for flips. I don't fully remember it.
He just flipped.
Yeah, he just like flipping to the ring, like backflips and almost somersaults on it. Then we have 9 Blue, which was perhaps my favorite entrant, and also got the biggest pop of the night. Konosuke Takeshita. I'm probably butchering that name, but I don't know why.
It's not too bad. Konosuke Takeshita.
Yeah, that's it. Because I always just pronounce them as like Takashita.
Yep, that's the way it should be. Let's move on. That's how I pronounce it, and it's right.
So what I've written here is he woke up the crowd, which is no exaggeration. The crowd were dead until he started doing moves. He was coordinating spots, and the crowd just seemingly woke up for the entire thing.
Which is quite incredible for a New Japan guy in Extortion.
He's not New Japan. He's DDT.
Is he DDT? Sorry.
Yeah.
He's still he's not exactly a world superstar. He's had a handful of matches that he's lost everyone pretty much, but he's super over.
Yeah, I think it's something to do with the Forbidden Door effect as well. Like they've just come off of seeing, Okada and who else was there? my whole memory of this has completely gone from Forbidden Door.
Okada was there though.
There were people there.
Yeah.
New Japan guys, New Japan.
Then we have Frank Kazarian eliminated by the Blade. Then we had the final entrant of the Red Ring, number 10, Brody King. I've written here is in big caps, he's massive. Because the camera angle that they gave him made him look amazingly like a Goliath. Outside of that, we move on to the final entrant of the Blue Ring, which was Orange Cassidy, who came out to his indie theme. Jane by something Starship.
Jefferson Starship.
That's the one. Thank you. And I thought it's better fit for him than Lost My Mind.
Yes, it's better.
At this point, everyone's now in the match. Who's supposed to be in the match? So there's no more entrants. We've got Dante Martin eliminated by Brody King. We've got Takeshita and Cassidy in a little exchange, which is another match that I realized I didn't realize that I wanted to see. Which is a case I think for Cassidy, where he can sort of surprise you with what he can do and who he can do it with. Then we've got Powerhouse Hobbs eliminated. No, sorry, I'll skip the head there. We've got Dustin Rhodes eliminated by Hobbs and Starks. Then we got Takeshita eliminated by Butcher and Blade. Then we got Swerve, who does a swerve on Cassidy and throws him out of the ring. So Cassidy's now eliminated at this point. We've got Powerhouse Hobbs eliminated by Keith Lee. Keith Lee eliminated by Ricky Starks. Swerve Strickland is eliminated by Butcher and Blade, while Ricky Starks is also eliminated by Hangman Page. Then what I think caught people off guard was Page getting eliminated by Brody King. And the bump looked particularly nasty for Page after he got knocked off the apron. He sort of fell off the apron but was still holding the rope and then let go of the rope too late, and he just really sort of like fell and sort of like banged his...
Yeah, and the crowd didn't know how to react. They almost thought it was a botch.
After that, we've got possibly my favourite shot of the entire week of wrestling, where it's... Oh, sorry, no.
Basically, we've
got...
rear naked choke where he's just kind of hanging him over the edge.
That's the one, yeah. Yeah, so the Blade and Butcher got eliminated by Darby Allin first. So both Darby and Brody won their rings. So now it's just those two left to fight in both rings, which they made use of somehow. Yeah, and as RGX says, there's that amazing shot of Darby being in the rear naked choke as he's sort of hanging over the apron with nothing to sort of land on.
Absolutely dead weight, lifeless body, just... Well, it looked grim if you didn't know the fact that Darby sells like a madman. Right.
But yeah, Darby is dropped to the floor, and that's it. Brody is your winner of the Royal Rampage. Brody King, I should clarify, is the winner of the Royal Rampage.
It is an absolutely viable and believable challenger for Mox. I knew as soon as he won, there's a good chance of him taking the title off him.
Yeah. So following on from that, we had potentially what I've written here, casting couch material, where we had a Hook interview with Alex Marvez. Alex just says, "What's next for Hook? I'm here with Hook. What's next for Hook?" Hook does nothing. He's just there eating some crisps, and I spent about 30 minutes trying to identify what the crisps were before I realized they weren't Takis or Monster Munch because it's American.
Doritos.
They're purple.
They were Doritos, apparently.
Do they have purple Doritos?
Bear in mind, America has like 70 flavors of Dorito.
Fair enough. But yeah, after that, no response. We get another question from Marvez where he just says, "I've seen your interviews, or lack of," with a little side eye to the camera. And I can't remember the exact wording he says, but it causes. He says something like, "I think you're more of a go with the flow kind of guy," and for some reason, this incenses Hook to the point where he's like, "I'm gonna stop eating my crisps. I'm gonna grab you by the tie now and really like lay you down on this weird sofa bed while I'm standing over you in this weird sort of." You've seen my PFP. You can see what the picture.
It's hard to describe it and keep this video monetized, or at least the potential to later down the line.
So you could probably monetize what happened in that segment.
Yeah, it was a menacing stare down with a man on top of another man.
That's it.
Yeah.
Gazing deeply into each other's eyes.
Yes, I did say a comment here saying there's a sexy aura in the air. Hook replies,
Right, next match.
Hook replies, "That's the problem, Alex. Most people don't think." And then he said something, I couldn't hear this next bit. He said, "Anything in Central is invisible to the eyes," which I didn't get at all, but I did hear that properly. I don't know if you heard what he said, guys.
I missed it.
Yeah, it was something like anything in Central is invisible to the eyes. I didn't get it. But we move on to the next match. We have a Bishamon, which sounds like a bad Digimon, between Yoshihashi and Hiroki Goto. I'm saying that wrong intentionally. And the Young Bucks, everyone's favorite team. I've not got much to say about this one. It was a very standard tag match. I'm not a huge fan of Yoshihashi and his work. The Young Bucks I like, but this was a very standard Young Bucks match where he's going to get their spots in. Goto and Yoshihashi are going to get their spots in. A lot of back and forth. Yeah, there's really not much else here. I've got another comment from JR though, where Goto goes for Ushigoroshi, which is like the final carry into the over the top into the knee, and he says, "JR, should have been an airplane spin." I don't know at this point.
I agree.
Neither does he. Neither does he.
I agree with good old JR. It should have been an airplane spin. Discombobulate your opponent.
I don't know about that. But I've written also a counter for super kicks. So if to guess how many super kicks were hit by either man or sorry, all together during that match.
7.
12. Eight's not guessing, apparently.
Okay. The correct answer is 5. Which is surprisingly not as much as I thought it'd be for a Young Bucks match.
That's why I went 12.
It's only a Rampage match. It saved that for the big important matches, you know?
Yeah. After that, we've got just some more springboard stuff, and then into a Meltzer driver, which is both springboard to both rings. And that's the win for Young Bucks, sending Goto and Yoshihashi to go play in dog cages.
Yeah. These weren't the ones to bring over for this. I don't... Right.
But yeah, so we go past that. Gresham confirms that there's going to be a match on next Rampage with him against Blanchard's guys. And then we move on to the main event, which is Rose and Storm. It's good to see Storm have good matches again, but outside of that, there's not much I can say about it. People were leaving early, probably for good reason. I don't know. But yeah, that was all there was really, and that was Rampage, and it ended in a brawl as usual.
Yeah.
And for those in the back, here we can, how many shows ended in a brawl for AEW in the past 5 weeks? Back outers up to 7.
Wow.
And I'm still loving every time it happens. Because I love wrestling.
So, that was a Rampage. Let's move on to Raw.
Yeah, we'll move on to Raw and we'll pick up the greatness of wrestling. So yeah, Raw, the Friday, July the 4th, good old American traditions and stuff. So it started with what we all wanted to see was Lashley open Raw. That's what you need when a big July 4th is Lashley opening. The general gist of his promo is no one will beat Lashley. Then here comes a wild Theory. He wants a rematch at SummerSlam. And then Theory tries to attack Lashley and absolutely botches it. Which is adding to my like of Theory, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
He's a trier.
It also continues the long-standing trend of Money in the Bank winners being booked awfully. Or at least to look like idiots. Until they
win.
Yeah.
8 down though, that's always going to matter. So this was followed by the Mysterios versus the Judgment Day team of Damian Priest and Finn Balor. Finn Balor's now rocking the leather flipping pants as well, which was just really weird to see. And for some reason, he had a purple handkerchief.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was about.
That sounds spooky now.
Yeah. And before that rocked on, they had a Mysterio segment out back. Dominic has no facial emotion. He's speaking and his face is not there.
No, but he has a god-awful hairdo. And this is coming from me.
But yeah, so they follow this with the match. Judgment Day blindsided the Mysterios. This was all leading up to Dom getting battered for most of the match. Then there was a hot tag by Ray. So a few decent double team moves from the Mysterios at this point. But they ended up with Balor in a knee for the pin. But he got the near fall, and then they did the good old Eddie Guerrero spot. So Finn got a chair, I believe. Or no, was it? I can't remember which way around it was. I think it was Damon gave the chair to Finn. Mysterio did the good old flat back bump. The ref saw it, and then he instantly disqualified him. Like, there wasn't even a thinking about it. The ref just went, you know what? No. That's bad.
You know what annoyed me most about this match? It wasn't even the match itself. When I watched the Wrestle Talk review where they do the Raw in 5 minutes, Luke Owen referred to Judgment Day as Retribution 2.0. Confirms one of two things. Either he watches the product or he stole my term for Judgment Day now.
And we're going to sue.
Or someone's fed him that line that watches and not giving us credit. So, one of those two.
How much money does Wrestle Talk make? How much can we sue them? Can we?
I'm sure we could get tens of pounds.
Excellent.
Tens.
That will get me a new. That will get me a new webcam. Let's do this, boys. I rated at 2.5. It was an average matchup. Like, there was some good moments in it. The finish was decent enough. It was just there, really, but like, it was an average matchup.
But you thought the finish was good? I mean, no, it wasn't.
Yeah, but it was unique to yeah. So we had a Miz segment after that. He's gonna humble Logan Paul because he is the Iron Sheik. But they could be tag champs, or he's gonna humble him. I don't know what he wants to do. But something's gonna happen. We had the Street Profits outside for July 4th. I literally wrote why. Why is this happening? I don't care what is actually happening here.
Like, 3 hours somehow.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Absolute pain. So this was followed by the Mysterios walking out back. So the Judgment Day came along. and absolutely mauled the Mysterios.
That got their heat back.
Yeah. I loved how Finn, do you know where Ray disappeared and Finn dragged him back into shot? That's my favourite part of it. It's like dragging a child and come back. Where do you think you're going? Then this was followed by The Miz versus Styles. It's slightly back and forth for a lot of it. And my only description of the match was AJ Styles ended up picking up the win with the Bull's forearm. I read at 2.25. It wasn't as good as their match the previous week. I think it was last week. Mm-hmm. It just felt a bit rushed, but then this led to a Ciampa coming down, attacking AJ from behind, and the Miz and Ciampa are now together.
What annoyed me, I'm sorry you've heard that phrase a lot so far already. What annoyed me, Corey Graves says that every leading man needs a supporting cast. Ciampa, former NXT champion, most over guy in NXT, is supporting cast for The Miz.
Yes, I don't see what's your argument here. He could be a male model. That's what he could be. I'm bringing it back. Good grief.
Male model, I'll be honest. He could.
Yeah, this was followed by a Liv promo, which was actually really good. I really enjoyed this Liv promo. She had a bit of emotion. She seemed very genuine in it. Then Natalie came down to ruin all. Natalie's the reason that Liv won the title, basically, which she has a technical good point from that matchup. Mella came down and said that some random stuff, and all I wrote here was, we do realise that Carmella lost her match, right? Like, she was just discussing how she was dominant and stuff like that. And then they started beating down Liv, and then Bianca came for the save, and my only note here was surprised Bianca didn't twist her hair when she was running down to the ring.
I was going to say, like, and even then, like, for the match later, she could be raging with Carmella and be looking for revenge after the post-match beatdown. It's basically, come out to save my pal, completely forget the fact that try to get heat back for beating down.
But yeah, it was just like she went from being really annoyed to the next thing you see is her spanking her own arse. That is the emotional twist of Bianca Belair. So yeah, this led to the Bianca, Liv, and Mella and Natty match. I don't know. There was a spot in it where Liv got pulled to the ropes by Bianca's hair, and my exact note was I don't know if I like this or not. Like, I don't like. It's cool, but it was also, I just don't like her using her hair that often anymore. I've got kind of bored of the hair because that's like 90% of Bianca Belair, which it shouldn't be.
Yeah, and Corey like screaming over again. That's not legal. He shouldn't be allowed to do that.
Yeah, and then Natty just runs into the middle of the match and kicks her in the head, and he's just like, doesn't pay attention. Obviously, it's the typical heel commentator. Yeah. There was a kick to the post by Carmella to Bianca that looked very good in this match as well. Everyone was looking good at this point, and then Liv actually picked up the win again and hit the Oblivion to continue the momentum. I rated 2 3/4. It was fine. It was above average for the match. This was followed by some more crap outside with the July 4th. The 24/7 was involved for a little bit. Omos absolutely destroyed Reggie. And then Ezekiel was there. He whacked some sauce and he ended up hitting Seth Rollins on his shirt. Seth Rollins looked angry. Seth Rollins looks happy. Seth Rollins looked angry. He liked red sauce. That's the whole lead up to the match.
Is obviously Kevin Owens' excuse for last week was he didn't want to go to Texas. It's the excuse this week.
He doesn't like July 4th. I got you, Kev.
You know what I want to know is, in the last match, how did Liv hit the Bolivian? That's what I want to know. Because that is what you called it. I was like, why is she hitting Bolivians? What have Bolivians done wrong here?
Oh, Bolivian?
Yeah, that's what she said. She hit Bolivian. And I was like,
it was a bit of a Mike Tyson like.
Yeah, I was just like, But you skipped on so quickly. I was like, I am not letting this go.
No, this is just spiteful. This is. You're picking up on my list there, I think. It's outrageous. So yeah, we had Ezekiel versus Rollins. We're going to skip past my misjudgments right now. I don't want to do this podcast anymore. That's my resignation right here. So yeah, there was a cool spot with Ezekiel hitting a gorilla press, throwing Rollins into the timekeeper booth, which they didn't really care about that much, but that's a good spot. Just threw him into the timekeeper's booth. Rollins was the only reason I was enthusiastic about this most of the night after this, because he was carrying this match and my enthusiasm for the match. He hit a stomp to pick up the win. I rated 2 3/4. It was a decent matchup from that point. It was just, I just didn't care about Ezekiel at all.
That's because without Kevin Owens, there is nothing to care about in Ezekiel.
Yeah, it's just there, and then Riddle came out of nowhere to hit an RKO. And then there was the hot dog contest. Akira Tozawa won the hot dog contest.
Funny because he's small, even though most champion competitive eaters are actually quite small.
Yeah.
Because they've got such high metabolisms.
I've been watching that guy a lot on YouTube. Is it Beard Meets Food? You should watch him. He's incredible. There you go. There's a plug for someone else. Never going to see this. And then we had the Profits and Lashley versus Theory in the Alpha Academy. The one spot which really annoyed me in this matchup was where basically they set up the dive spot for Dawkins. Why did Dawkins leapfrog over Lashley to then do the dive? What did that bring to this move?
No, but did you see how jacked Montez Ford is?
This is what we're taking away from this. Montez Ford is jacked.
He looks incredible.
Yeah.
Remember what I said about pay attention to the commentators?
Yeah, he's jacked. But yeah, Theory got tagged in the match. Lashley tagged in the match. Theory ran off. Gable looked the most impressive in this match, I'm going to be honest. Like, Gable is in a crap position in the company, but he wrestling-wise, he was probably the highest rated wrestler in this match.
He's pretty much untouchable in the ring just now.
Yeah.
His peers.
And he's hitting, I don't know what they call it in WWE, but it's the Chaos Theory, which is an incredible move.
They've changed it recently, actually. It's like
the
American academic thing.
But yeah, like, Gable was head and shoulders above everyone. Like, but yeah, this ended with Lashley, I think, whacking a spear on, I think it was Otis, because Otis then puked, because that's a thing. I rate this 3 stars. This was one of my favourite matches of the night. But yeah.
With the puke spot, it's another indication Vince is still very much in charge of creative.
He's gonna puke. There we go, we got that in. Becky, so Becky had a segment out back. Like as I said, Becky Lynch is the best part of any show at the moment. Like, they were speaking about Otis, and then she just went, "No one cares about Otis." It was like, and then she was doing a rambling, or Irish rambling, where she sounds like she's going insane, and then she just calls herself at the end of it, "No holds barred Bex," which I'm fine with that. So then we had Uncle Sam Yarl, which was R-Truth dressed as Uncle Sam. July 4th is about the Independence Day film. Then he started preaching. He got the role and he's preaching the Independence Week, and then suddenly out of nowhere,
Fox, American hero.
Yeah, and then obviously this was stopped by Ludwig Kaiser, who introduces Gunter. Gunter comes down and absolutely kills R-Truth. I rate it 1/4 star because I was entertained by it, but he still murdered R-Truth. Bliss came up after this. I don't even remember this segment. I wrote stuff for it. Bliss was out back. She's going to hit a Twisted Bliss. That's all I remember that. And then Oscar came out, and then Oscar was just being crazy.
Basically, She was asked if she's happy for her friend Liv. Bliss says she has no friends in WWE, but she's still happy for her, but it's about time she went for gold herself.
But she should. Why not? I want a different challenger. So yeah, and then this followed up by the people that are saving Raw's main events, as you retweeted Oscar's post the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Oscar in the main event, she's saving them. So it's Becky versus Oscar in a no holds barred match. There was some good spots in it. You had the typical chair shots, which looked pretty weak from Oscar. I'm going to be honest, it looked like she didn't want to hit Becky. Becky hit a great apron leg drop on Oscar, like it was proper like reverse guillotine. So it wasn't like the Undertaker's one, where it's
it was quite
there was the hip attack through the barricade, which fair enough. There was an umbrella, and then it ended up with like there was chair spots and stuff like that. I haven't wrote most of this because I was eating my breakfast at this point, and I was just enjoying the matchup. But it ended up with Oscar getting, I'm sure she got manhandle slammed through a table.
Yeah, so Asuka went for the green mist.
Becky that's what it is.
The umbrella.
Yeah, I was running more at my umbrella here, and then I thought of the Nyla Rose spot, and I thought I just wrote it randomly for no reason. But yeah, she tried to block it with the umbrella, but half of it still hit her in the face. But it didn't get in her eyes, that's all that matters. But yeah, she picked up the win with a manhandle slam. I rated this 3 stars as well, because Becky and Oscar are great.
This was my match of the night.
Yeah, definitely, that's what I think I rated it match of the night. Yeah, it was definitely my match of the night. It was on par with both matches, but I'll pick this as the match of the night.
Yeah.
So that was the end of Raw. What do we all think?
It was better than SmackDown.
Well, let's move on to Dynamite.
That's all I've got.
I literally don't recall any of this outside of the Otis hot dog thing.
Is that why you were so quiet? I did wonder.
Literally, I'm thinking, what, this happened? I don't recall any of this. I watched it yesterday.
Yeah.
I will say, right,
That's
WWE is chronically lacking star power than now. Like,
I've just saw a man puke. Otis is a star.
Oh yeah.
They're just lacking power of any kind. Not even stars, just power.
it feels like we're
I was
watching the
lacking
B
power.
team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was lacking power.
Yeah. We're all this on. Yeah, carry on, Dave.
So I was saying, a couple of days ago, I saw something on Twitter, and it was it'd been 72 days. It's probably more now, but since men had main evented a Raw, which I thought was quite interesting. So that puts it, I think, to a Raw in April. I think that is when it was an 8-man tag.
Becky's over.
It's been women in the main event, which is pretty cool.
Becky is over. That's why the reason.
Yeah. I'm saying they're lacking star power. Star power is the women. It's like the polar opposite of AEW just now.
Yeah.
The women are carrying the company at the moment.
And that's why that Oscar tweet is perfect example.
Absolutely. Right. I don't share many tweets. I don't retweet much unless I believe something wholeheartedly. So I was quite passionate about that when I shared it.
But before we get into Dynamite, we're going to do Frozzy's favourite section, Mounts' star ratings. So he hasn't done Money in the Bank yet, but there's one for Blood and Guts, and then there's the whole card for New Japan, obviously because it's New Japan. So what do you think he rated the Blood and Guts match?
4.5.
4 3/4. So that was the only match he's rated on that card because he doesn't watch the whole of wrestling for some reason because he's a bad man.
To be fair, that card was a very short card.
I've just realised I've clicked into the buy-in rather than the Forbidden Door. Let me just quickly go into that because I don't watch the buy-in or care about the buy-in. Where is the Forbidden Door? There it is. Okay, so the first match was the Suzuki and the Jazz Appreciation Society match against Umino, Yuta and Kingston.
2 3/4.
I'd say 3.
4 3/4.
What?
4?
Close that page down now. Close that page.
You telling me he rated that the same
as Blood and Guts
again? Aye.
Tony.
Aye, and same more than Seth against Rollins at WrestleMania.
I'm telling you that.
Rollins.
I'm telling you that now. That's who's Meltzer rating. So unless Cage Match have flopped it up, but that's what it says.
Based on a cracker.
So you had the triple threat tag team match: FTR versus United Kingdom versus Roppongi Vice.
Don't even know anymore. 7.
4.25. 4.25.
Froz? We got 4.5.
And in the Tokyo Dome.
Yep. Not even the Tokyo Dome. This was followed by the 4-way for the Atlantic title.
That should have been his 4 3/4.
Yeah.
4.5.
It was a very good match.
It was 4.5, so it wasn't as good as the opener.
Don't celebrate getting a Meltzer rating. It's not worth celebrating.
It's my first one.
Dudes with Attitude and versus the Bullet Club.
3.
3.5.
Yeah, I'm going to stop thinking like Meltzer and give mine 3.
4.5.
No way.
How much is TK paying him?
Oh, it's outrageous because the next match I just feel bad for. Thunder Rosa versus Tony Storm.
That's
3.
3.
It was 3.5. But in the grand scale of things,
See, on his scale, if the matches are as good as that, then 3.5 is fair on that scale, but it's still over what I would have gave it.
I think you've got like a little gap in the scale. If it's women, it's less than 4. Like, there's a little stopper.
if Stardom he rates, because, you know, that's Japanese, he rates that higher. I've just seen a lot of 5 stars from him for Stardom. You got Ospreay versus Cassidy.
Oh, that'll be 4.5 because he loves Oscar.
5.
That should be a 5.
4 3/4.
Yeah, I didn't think he'd give it 5.
Followed by Claudio versus Zack.
7 stars.
I think he'll rate this quite low. I'd say 4. That's
4
low.
4.5. The Fatal 4-way for the heavyweight title.
4.
4.
5.
4.5.
Yeah.
The main event: Tanahashi versus Moxley.
1. No, that's mine. That's mine.
Mine
Yeah,
is,
I didn't enjoy it.
Mine is 3.5. His will be like 4 3/4.
Mine was 2.5. His will
I'll
be
say
the
4.
best match ever.
4.5. So on average, AEW Forbidden Door is about 4.25 stars every match, or 4.5.
And the Jericho
Unless
Appreciation
you're on
Society
Rosa
is his match of the night.
Yeah, that or the Ospreay match. Yeah.
But that match on that card.
It has Eddie Kingston in it.
I rated it 3 stars. That was my dog. It was fine. My match of the night was I think it was Claudio versus Zack. If I remember, it might have been Ospreay. No, it was Claudio versus Zack. I just picked that over Ospreay versus Thingy, but fair enough. The Meltzer ratings reign supreme. So to get on to another bombshell, we had Dynamite, which was the worst Dynamite I've seen in a while. Like, I didn't enjoy most of this. So you started off with the Scorpio Sky versus Wardlow match. I honestly thought they were going to try and screw Wardlow in this match. They didn't.
No, the American Top Team just looked like absolute idiots.
Yeah, they're all there because they weren't the big stars of the UFC or anything. I couldn't pick any of them, not the massive
No,
ones.
but there
But
were still 7 of them.
they're still, yeah, and they're martial artists. Mixed martial, you know. But yeah, so the thing that annoyed me is Wardlow no-sold a low blow. Like, he was trying to pretend he sold it, but if I got kicked in the groin, I'm not doing a belly-to-belly straight afterwards and then suddenly going, actually, this hurts. Any man gets kicked in the groin, he's going down. A-town down, to be in fact. But yeah, so I didn't enjoy that. American Top Team, for some reason, attacked Wardlow during this point and stopped attacking him. Just batter him for the whole match. It's a straight fight.
Yeah, a street fight where not a single weapon was used.
Yeah.
Not a single one.
Wardlow kicked out of a bout shot, which I didn't like either, I'm going to be honest. I think a bout shot is one of them ones. If you hit a bout shot, unless it's like a big main event, you shouldn't kick out of a bout shot. Because that's like the essence of wrestling. And then Wardlow just took control and powerbombed the crap out of Scorpio Sky and picked up the win. Right at 2.5. It was just average.
Yeah.
Let's
Just
do
a bit
something
fast.
interesting with the TNT title now, please. So I don't
No.
hold out that much hope.
No, me neither.
It's going to be treated like the TBS title for a while now. It's on Wardlow, I think.
I don't think it'll be on Wardlow long.
Wardlow section.
It's just, yeah, it's. I'll say I'm not going to judge it because it is Wardlow and they're high on Wardlow, so we'll see what happens. But like, it needs to stop being passed around. So yeah, this was followed by a Mox segment, which was rambling at best. Like Moxie just kept calling himself a monster, and there was blood, and I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do that, and Kings. Yeah, it was just rambling.
And he finished it on the highly original line of step up or get stepped on. Hadn't heard that one before, so that was quite ingenious.
Yes. Anyway, I'm going to step up and move on. So we have the Sterling people versus Swerve. This is a thing. So they're trying to get Swerve kicked out of AEW. So they go to Keith Lee. Keith Lee and Swerve are fine. That was the promo. That was the whole segment. It was like they were lacking what to do this week. This was followed by Cageosaurus. So you had a Cageosaurus segment. Cage was about to start talking some crap. Then Hardy came down. They were just discussing, and Cage just spoke absolute facts as usual.
Yeah, so I'll basically to paraphrase. So Hardy comes down, says, "How do you do that to my friend Jungle Boy? Over the last few months, I've got to know him really well, and already before Christian even speaks, you're just thinking you've never interacted on screen." But yeah, he rightly calls him out for the amount of times he's taking the big money moves. He was Big Money Matt. And he was spouting so much crap that he was making his brother sound like the sober one.
Too soon.
Don't get me wrong. That's his brother and a very good friend. I don't think they would have used that line if they weren't sure that Jeff would get pop out of it, but it is too soon. It was a good line, but I guarantee, see if that had been on Raw, like Seth saying or whatever, there'd be people calling to boycott it.
Oh yeah, they'd go absolutely mental. But the one line I wrote from here, Matt started going on about he regrets the whole what he did to the younger talent, trying to use them off. And my exact line was, "We regret the Matt Hardy office, Matt." That whole 6 to 8 months, I regret watching. That's so
yes.
And then this was followed by a Lucha beatdown, because that's a thing now. Luchasaurus beats down every man dem. So this was followed by the Black Hole. Oh no, this wasn't followed by. It's the Black Hole Combat Club versus the Jazz continues. Basically, that's going to happen. So Double C versus Hager. Hager's going to get absolutely mauled.
I'm okay with seeing this match.
Yeah, we the people.
You know how Claudio's absolutely famous for not being able to cut a promo or sound believable. That was another example of it there.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have no words for this. I'm a man of the people. This was followed by the Blade and the Butcher and the Candlestick Maker versus Swerve and his glory. This was a pretty meh match from the majority of it, and then halfway through it, actually, I got really interested in it. I don't know why I rated it. Like, I can't even remember the ending of the match. I've rated 2 3/4.
Basically,
I think
the story of it was that Keith Lee accidentally.
Accidentally it swerved, didn't he?
But he went out of his way to make up for it with saves later. Going above and beyond to fix it. But Swerve didn't so much as apologise for trying to eliminate him twice.
Butcher and Blade definitely won that match, by the way. There was definitely a freak out for Butcher and Blade. Yeah, because even the fans were like, "What the fuck?" You know, it's like,
Bryce gonna be Bryce.
like I think I don't change my ratings. Well, like I put this at 2 3/4. But I think I was over optimistic with this, and this is probably a 2.5 as well. But I don't change my rating, so 2 3/4. That's what I've put it as, and I'm going to stick with it. This was followed by Team Taz rolling down. He called someone a trick-ass bitch. Ricky Starks got really angry for no reason. I don't like where this is built from.
Well, Hobbs sounded weird. I don't know what it was. It felt like his voice wasn't matching his, like...
Him.
Yeah, it felt like it was...
It's like Keith Lee, though, isn't it? Yeah. It's when you look at Keith Lee and how he speaks and the way he's flipping, yeah.
It's like the intensity didn't match him. Weird.
But it's just said Ricky Stark's intensity made no sense because he's never been like this until now. And, like, there's no reason for him to suddenly be this hot.
Yeah. All he needs to do is... Guys, we beat you.
Yeah, so then he was boosting, he kept going on about we're the greatest tag team, blah, 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 like, we can beat the greatest tag team, so they brought the Young Bucks out, which I did enjoy this, that they actually, the line of, thanks for that introduction, like, I did enjoy that slight line.
Yeah, let's do exactly the same thing we did with Jungle Express 2 months ago. Exactly the same thing.
So yeah, the Young Bucks, being the heels they challenge both teams to a 3-way tag match because the heels want to put themselves in a bad position. And then my follow-up question is, where's FTR?
That was the first question as well.
Yeah.
And then we had a weird segment with the Black and King preview for the main event, just hyping the main event with Brody King versus Moxley. This was followed by Kingston coming out. Kingston's maturing. And then Y2J appears on the good old Titantron. And Ruby is an idiot. That was my only description of this. Ruby walked into the door like, I need to get hit. Yeah. And he was, what were you walking into this door?
No, like, and she was obviously saying, like, Ty, not yet, not yet, not yet, right now.
Yeah. It was just like, why is she like? No one dragged her into it. No one like held her there. She just walked into it and went, you know what? This will make good TV. So that was the awesome.
Remember when I was sorry, DP, on you go.
I was just gonna say it was looking like she was reaching out like Velma does when she loses her glasses.
She probably got the contacts knocked out.
So remember, I said after Blood and Guts, that was a really good finish. But knowing AEW, they'll either sitting it too long or hotshot it. They're going to be sitting on it too long because, one, they didn't even so much as cut back to Eddie to get his reaction to this. So, it really, like, as far as the presentation of it, didn't sell that story at all. He came out and said he's mature enough with audio that he forgives him and congratulations. They're either dropping this or they're going to have the descent come out of nowhere like 2 or 3 months down the line.
Yeah, they're definitely not dropping it. Oh, that's definitely not happening after that.
Oh, but they've botched it in my view. Like,
what they should have done,
an opportunity with that finish. And he didn't capitalise.
This segment as well, what they should have done, why didn't Y2J just fireballer? Well, it would have made more sense in the whole thing, like them all holding and eating a fireball. That would have matched.
Even if one of them was holding Soho at the door.
Yeah, into the door, that's what I'm saying, it makes no sense. But yeah, wrestling. So this was followed by a stupid Dark Order promo, that's what I like, it was so silly. And most of this Dark Order, we're not leaving. I don't care.
Back to being comedy jobbers again.
And then here comes 2QT to add to the ability of this segment. Just talking crap, basically saying why are we looking after this kid still, which in fact, like why is Negative One still on TV?
They're any
like I feel bad. Yeah, but still, do you know what it felt like? Carry on.
They're in his dad's hometown. I'm okay with any time they're in Rochester bringing out -1. It's not like he's on TV every week.
But he made him look weird. They didn't make him look good or anything. Like, they made him look weird.
He's a preteen boy.
Because you remember that when everyone went mental and thought it was weird when Goldberg's son came in the ring and ripped his shirt off? That was a meme for years. -1 rips his shirt off no matter what's happening. It's just odd. I don't want to see it.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. When QT said F1 leave, so me and him could talk man to man, I was really cheering for that because I really wanted to punch -1.
I wanted Cornette to review this straight away. Cornette acts anything like that. Imagine Cornette with QT versus -1.
Well, the match isn't happening until he's 18.
The match is never happening. No one's going to remember this.
You never know. It might have been like 7 years ago.
If that match happens and we're still going in 6 years' time, I will eat this notepad. I'm going to save this notepad for that match. My camera should be working then, and I will eat this notepad. Moving on.
Finally.
So this was followed by one of the matches of the night, which was Roosh versus Penta. This was brutal. It was proper hard hitting. It reminded me of some of their matches in AAA, and I think they had a match in ROH. I can't remember it if it was in ROH yet. There was a weird spot where Alex Abrantes actually speared Jose for no reason to go to a break spot.
And they brawled to the back.
Yeah. Roosh was quite dominant for the whole match, which I'm good they're building him up. They had a bit of back and forth following on that. Both guys are great workers. He hit the fear factor on Roosh, but Andrade put the foot on the rope, which I'm fine with. Then Andrade distracted the ref. Roosh low-blowed him, and then I didn't notice until Excalibur had to tell me that he ripped the mask off because the camera angle was the worst camera angle in the world. Until I saw I saw his hair, and I was like, hold on.
In fairness, it is intentionally a bad camera angle, so not to show his face.
Yeah, but if they showed the back of his head while they're doing it, because the camera angle wasn't even showing it at anything.
I don't know, I could tell right away his mask was off.
Oh, I didn't notice it at all because I was too busy looking at Andrade and the distraction. He was distracting me from the match. So he was doing a good job of the distraction. But yeah, I rated that 3 stars. I enjoyed the ending. Enjoyed the Roosh was shown as dominant. And this is the thing Andrade needs. He needs someone like Roosh. He doesn't need the Andrade family office. He don't need any. He just needs to wrestle.
Andrade needs to get off TV.
You need to get off TV. That's my retort. Let's move on. Andrade is some kind of. I'm not linking everything to the SmackDown segment either. No. So yeah, this was followed by a lethal segment. New champion. That was it. That's the segment for me right there. This was followed by Nice, and they were Nice and Sterling trying to get a signature from Cassidy. Cassidy actually said something really smart, like, "You need to speak to my you need to speak to my legal representation." Was that how he worded it?
Yeah.
I don't sign anything without speaking to my representation.
Which you just wouldn't expect for Cassidy to say. Danhausen came across and he was just being a bit of a div to Sterling, which was funny to see. Where he was just he was mimicking everything Sterling was saying, but everyone was agreeing with Danhausen. Yeah. Overruled. And then this was followed by a Claimed and the Gun Club versus the Ruffin. I found out this tag team is called Ruffin It.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a tag team, and Fuego del Sol. So this started off with no caster rap. It was ruined.
Yeah, Colton grabbed the mic at his hand.
Yeah, so it's good because I was going to do the caster rap because DP did such a good job. Yeah, I was going to do the caster rap, but there was no rap. Listen, that was the rap. This was pretty much a meh match. I'm going to be honest. There was a bit of distension at the start. Then the Acclaimed and Gun Club got a bit back on the same wavelength, and then they picked it up. They picked up the win because Caster hit the mic drop, and then Colton had tagged in just before that, and Audrey just about saw it, and then he stole the win. I rated 1 star. I really didn't enjoy the match.
Yeah, this is all about the post-match.
Yeah. So the Guns attack the Acclaimed. Billy Gunn's not having it, so he helps the Acclaimed. But then Billy Gunn doesn't help the Acclaimed and attacks the Acclaimed. He hits the famous, I think, on Caster.
It says me, Daddy.
So yeah, this is going to continue as a rivalry now, and the Acclaim needs to get their own big boy. What's BD James doing right now? Is he in wrestling? Is he a producer somewhere? Or is he actually a free agent?
No, he's having some weird takes on the world on
Yeah.
his Twitter.
No.
But you know what he could do? He could be on their manager. AEW style, baby.
He's probably angling for an intern job at Knox County.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was a thing. And then Miro, we had a segment where it was religious rambling and he's not happy with Black and he's going to break him and religious segments. I don't know if there's much more you want to add to that. That's pretty much all I wrote for that.
Nah, move on.
And then AEW came with the greatest tag team name they've ever come up with. I bet everyone was high-fiving in the office when they thought of this tag team name. Thunderstorm.
I can guarantee Tony Khan would have been like having a joint or something. It's like, oh my god, guys, Thunderstorm.
No.
Feel like Rudy clapping and them all like carrying them on his shoulders.
Yeah, so I wrote here from here, you had Thunderstorm versus Rosa Fair. That's what I wrote here. So I can combine names too. This was a slog. This whole event, I wrote here at this point, this whole event was a slog.
I knew that a Shafir match would drain the crowd.
It wasn't even Shafir though. It was just the whole. It was just the whole running segment and the events and so many segments. It was just pants. The whole show.
Feel like
even Cage Match, which overreacts on AEW, rated this like I think it was a 6.5, which they're normally like 9-star jerk in this event. But no, even that was a 6-star. Ross was annoyed. I don't know why Ross was annoyed for this whole show. It was like he didn't want to be out there.
Yeah, Jim Ross is really annoying me now. I might start proper going into detail in the amount of times that he drops absolute clangers.
Yeah, it's not even. He's just dropping things of this. Is basically Jim Ross is saying what people would be normally saying about the product, but you shouldn't be saying it as a commentator. Like he just sounds like he's annoyed to be there now. Rose hit an umbrella shot. That was a thing, and then it ended with a double team Thunder Rosa driver, which Tony Storm jumped off the top rope. I rated 2.25, so it just got past, but it was by an average match. But yeah, Thunderstorm. Let's see if that lasts. Then we had a Jade segment. Stokely is saying that I can't even remember the girl's name now.
Layla Gray, and it cost him $1,100.
Yeah. Interim baddie, that's it. Interim baddie. You're not my buddy. And she needs to trust the process. Jade's not happy. So this is going to be a thing for her, so she didn't defend the title for a bit, I'm assuming. Garcia had a promo. I don't know what he said. He was just going on and on and on and on in his accent.
I'm okay with it setting up the pure title match, though, Death Before Dishonor.
Yeah.
Should be a good match as well.
It's going to be a good match, but that promo was not a good promo.
Oh, no.
It was rambling. It should have been just like Garcia saying he's going to kick his head in or something like that. It should have been like 20 seconds. But it was just him going on and on and on, and Tony just going, yeah, it's Sting! So this was followed by the main event, which was the match of the night, to be fair. Moxley versus King. We all knew Moxley was going to win, but this was actually a lot more like star making of King. He had got a lot of good offense in. Moxley was actually a bit more technical, which I didn't expect for this matchup. He didn't bleed. There was a spot pole driver from King. He hit the cannonball, which always looks brutal. There was a bit more near falls from both guys, and then Moxley ended up getting the bulldog choke. King broke out of it once, but then he got back in and he absolutely wrenched on it to pick up the win. I rate that 3.25 because it was just pipped Roosh versus Penta, I think. Just because I was surprised by it, I was more entertained by this match, expecting it's just going to be an absolute Moxley fodder match.
I'm going to drop a hot take and say that Asuka Becky was my match of the week. It might be a bit of a lukewarm take, but
in essence, I would have to go Moxley King to rate it 3.25, but actually, Asuka and Becky would be up there. And then this was followed by a weird thing. Oh, I don't understand it. I don't know if there has been a setup of us not being paying attention with the King getting some applause from the crowd, but the crowd didn't really care, which I felt bad because I think they were trying to do the applause moment.
What has been happening lately, I've noticed, is the TV feed stopped at pretty much as Mox lifted the title up.
Mm-hmm.
But the fight feed went blank for 30 seconds and came back on. And then they did the bit where...
okay, so this wasn't... Because I was skimming, so I thought it was just the end. Okay, because it made no sense to me at all.
Yeah, this was I like to say fight exclusive, but there was not even any commentary. The cameras were just still rolling for some reason, and the feed fight was still live.
It's one of these things they've probably recorded if they need to use it in the future or something. And they need to get Sting out. But yeah, so that was Dynamite. That was wrestling this week. I enjoyed everything.
It looks like we're getting FTR and the Briscoes at Death Before Dishonor again, by the way.
I also missed that completely. I've got notes and I've just skimmed past that, I think. But that's going to be good.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah.
I thought it deserved a mention because it'll be a great match.
And that's why it should be mentioned at the end of this hellacious podcast.
I don't think I saw that. I don't think I saw any of that for the Briscoes.
Yeah,
really?
FTR had a segment out back, and they basically said that they want to face the Briscoes again at Death Before Dishonor. So the Briscoes weren't there, but it was good. Okay. It was a good promo, and it's going to be match of the night, unless Claudio has a banging match with someone. I don't know who he's going to face yet though.
Probably Hager again.
Yeah. To be fair, there's going to be good matches. Yuta versus Garcia will be good. Joe versus Lethal. Yeah, there. Let's move past my mistakes. I don't pick on anyone else. We're all terrible people.
I thought you get Gresham and
Jonathan.
Brian Cage.
Yeah. I've seen Rampage spoilers.
Oh yeah, I look for them because I'm never going to watch it in my life.
I haven't, so
yeah. So don't.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Austin returns.
So yeah, that was the wrestling this week. Other than the pay-per-view, not a particularly good week, and even the pay-per-view, you can say had good bits to it. Just wrestling in general is lacking a lot of star power for me.
Yeah.
There's no Punk. There's no Roman's hardly about. Brock's hardly about. Right.
There's a lot of injuries in AEW.
Everyone you would consider the main draw of every company at the moment seems to be out.
Yeah. Yeah. So
it wasn't a particularly fun week of wrestling to get through, but I hope we've made it fun in our descriptions. Our links to our socials are in the description, including our Discord. We are looking to get more people into the server, so click the invite down below.
It definitely works.
It definitely works. We have tested it. I'm not going to say how we tested it, but we did.
I was betrayed, people. Let's move on.
And of course, follow us on Twitter. Our individual Twitters are in the description, as our handles are on the screen. And the main show handle is @honor_club. That is honor with a U because we are British. And thank the good Lord there's no pay-per-views this week.
Yep.
So we will be bringing back either a react or something else, probably another reaction video, because PDWG has been an absolute madman and already uploaded 3 new videos since our last one.
Nice.
And we'll cover the news on Tuesday as always as well. But have you guys got anything to say to the lovely people before we bid you adieu?
Wrestling's a terrible thing and we should never watch it again.
Way to plug the podcast there, Rich. Well done.
We watch it so you don't have to.
I'm forced to watch it so you don't have to.
But at least there was one good thing that came out tonight. DP is now Deepois.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Mercy.
Maximum male models. Good night, everyone.
Au revoir.
Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye.